Hello, lovely people. You already know what time it is. It is time for another new video. And this video, we're going to be talking about internal consistency versus external consistency in regards to writing, fiction, non-fiction, storytelling in general, how it works, what it means, and how you can apply it. So first, we're going to be talking about internal consistency. And internal consistency is whether or not a story makes sense within the confines of its own narrative. So, for example, you as an audience viewer would understand and accept the fact that Jedi can move things with their minds. You would understand and accept the fact that a man can become super big and green and strong due to gamma radiation. You would accept that a guy can get powered by the sun or go Super Saiyan. These are things that you as a viewer accept as consistent and valid, even though those things cannot happen in our world. And your reasoning for accepting those things is because you understand what internal consistency means. That it makes sense for the story, therefore it makes sense, period. And that's sort of like the gist of internal consistency. External consistency is the opposite. It makes sense in our world, therefore it makes sense. We understand that if we drop an apple, that apple will fall because gravity will enact on it. We understand that if we run in a certain direction, that we're hitting like we're hitting velocity, there's velocity, that there's pressure and resistance, etc., etc. We understand that that is how the world works. Gravity, electromagnetism, space, time. These are all things that we acknowledge as existing within our own reality. External consistency is incredibly valid, but only valid in regards to nonfiction pieces more often than not. What I mean by that is if you're watching a series like CSI Miami and all of a sudden they start using the Force, you would probably be very confused. And your reasoning for being confused is because you understand that CSI Miami is a realistic show grounded in our reality, so anything that happens outside of our norm of reality doesn't make sense. It violates external consistency. Likewise, if there was a film or a show that said this is based on a true story, if all of a sudden they pull out wands and start saying Avada Kedavra, you would probably look at this and be like, well, hold on, that doesn't make any sense. And your reasoning for thinking it doesn't make any sense is because it violates the external consistency of our world, and thus it doesn't make sense. With that being said, you can spot poor internal consistency when a film does something and then breaks its own rules. For example, in Avatar, you can only bend one element unless you're the Avatar. This is established very early on, is consistent, it makes sense. Now let's say, hypothetically speaking, Toph was on a whole area of ice. We as the audience know that in an icy area, Toph is essentially screwed. She can only bend earth and metal, there's nothing else she can do. If all of a sudden she bent ice, like Katara, we would know that something is wrong and this doesn't make any sense. But why? It's fiction. We can do whatever. Well, not exactly. We understand that that doesn't make sense because the internal consistency has been violated. The writer has broken the rules that have been established by the story, and thus the stakes and the consequences are thrown out of whack. If we know Toph is in an almost unwinnable situation, there's a sense of dread in knowing that we as the audience have figured out that there's nothing she can do in that scenario, so how is she going to get out of it? If the rules can simply be thrown out the window, the tone and the stakes don't exist, because why not simply write anything and everything you want at that moment to prevent any sort of problems or stakes from occurring? Therein lies the problem with shattering your internal consistency for the sake of the story and the narrative. So with that being said, that is sort of like a brief rendition of what it means to be internally consistent versus externally consistent and why those things matter. As a writer, you need to be able to master internal consistency, especially if you're making a fictional story, because your fictional story and the fiction of that story itself need to be able to be understood by people. That way, the people who are viewing it are able to understand the consequences, the stakes, and what all this means. So yeah, that's all for now. Short, sweet, to the point. I'll be giving you guys some more videos, some long, some short. But other than that, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Be easy.